Hey Mitch, what all went into the decision to allow Wemby to come on this trip? And is he going to go to Minneapolis as well?
Um, there was no health risk or reasons for him to not come. He wants to be with his teammates as much as possible. So I think we'll see him as much as they'll allow us to, or they'll allow him to, excuse me. But I think it's as simple as that. He wants to be with his team. Being away from them is taking a toll on him. He's had a lot of time on his hands. I don't think that he's ever had before. So it's good to have him around.
Is he going on to Minneapolis or is he going back home?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I know there'll be nothing that's more prioritized than his health and what he needs to do to get back and be healthy and ready to go. But he'll be with us as much as possible.
What value on and off the court, more so in the locker room, has Chris brought to this franchise this season?
The experience and wisdom goes without saying. I think when you look at the year we've had, a lot of different adversity is a tough word, but just unique circumstances, and every team has their own. But I think when you have someone like that who has almost seen it all and done it all, to be able to have that as a reference point, to be able to have that as a sounding board, whether that's for players, I know I've used them, and so when you have someone with his fiber and war stories, I think you can lean on him, and sometimes he can be, whether it's a motivating, challenging voice or a calming kind of voice of reason when you may think this is uncharted territory.
Is he intimidating the coach?
No, but he is awfully engaging, and you need to engage him back. And I think that that's when you get the best version of him.
Coach, after shoot around today, De'Aaron told us, he's around a lot of young players on your team, and they're always coming up to you. I guess I'm asking some questions. Just wanted to get your thoughts on what do you observe when he communicated and engaged with the other young players?
Yeah, De'Aaron is an elite player, and so our young guys are trying to expedite their acumen, their experience, their wisdom, their capabilities as much as possible. So that's talking to De'Aaron Fox, it's picking Chris Paul's brain, it's observing Harrison Barnes's preparation and post-game recovery. And I think it's great, the more that those guys talk to people like that, it just gives them insight of how much goes into this thing. This thing isn't by luck. When you get players of that caliber, of that level, they don't skip steps. And so anytime the young guys are able to get exposed to that, I think is a positive.
What have you learned since you've been in a Spurs uniform these past few weeks?
What have I learned?
What have you learned from De'Aaron, yes? About his game, basically.
Yeah, he's extremely competitive. He's those guys that are top players in the league, their game in general. I think the one thing, again, that I have felt more than I probably realized prior to getting him is how physical he is. When he drives the ball, his ability to create contact and to get guys kind of in awkward spots where it's tough to not foul him. He's so fast, but his body control, he plays off two in the paint. And then even defensively, I think at the point of attack, he's built more up and down, slender, almost like a track guy. But his physicality, when he tries to hold people up defensively, is more than enough in terms of up to par.
In terms of the circumstances tonight for De'Aaron specifically, what's your view of his mindset and just where he's at in approaching this game?
Yeah, I don't want to try to read his mind and tell you his mindset. I think anytime anybody is somewhere for a long time, had a lot of success and a lot of experiences, and has grown up here, I'm sure, in a certain form or fashion in a way, there's going to be a lot of emotions. There's no way around that. I think we don't need to hide or try to make it more than that or less than that. I think at some point the game will become the game. We've had a few of these, Victor in France, New York on Christmas, whatever it is. There are circumstances around a lot of games, and that's good, but it'll end up being just basketball at some point.
Thanks,
Thanks, Coach.